When you properly search engine optimize your Shopify site, you end up getting a ton of free traffic to your website. And that's great, but I've had Performance Nut Butter for 6 months and I've actually never taken the time to do this. But that's gonna change today. Today I'm gonna completely SEO optimize my website. I'm gonna share everything I do step by step with you. So let's get into the tactics. If you're new to my channel, my name is Travis, and I was stuck in a soul-sucking corporate job. I ended up quitting that and spending 5 years struggling, trying to make money online before ultimately realizing that I needed to create a passion product. That passion product for me is Performance Nut Butter. After creating my passion product, Performance Nut Butter, I ended up hitting my financial freedom goal in just a few months. And that's all good, but I've probably done about 1% of what I can do with Performance Nut Butter. And part of that's because the sales have been doing so well on Amazon that, for the first time I had my financial freedom and I wasn't so concerned. But I realized that since all my sales are right now on Amazon, if something happens to Amazon, I'd be back almost to square one. So I need to start building up my Shopify site. And to do that, I think one of the first things that's very important to do is completely optimize all your on-page SEO. So today, I'm gonna be doing that. I started out the day with meditation, exercise, and breakfast, and then I like to write out all the tasks that I'm gonna be doing throughout the day so I can go into it with a clear head. I also personally don't usually drink coffee, but last night I only got about 4 hours of sleep, so I decided to have a little bit of coffee. The first step to SEO your Shopify site is to do keyword research. You need to figure out what people would search for in Google to find your product. Like, what are the optimal terms? So the first step to this, and all this information is, you can get this e-commerce checklist for free and the e-commerce success pack. There should be a link down below. But the first step is to just type out all the different things, all the different ideas you might have on what people would search for in Google to find your product and hopefully buy your product. Try to be as specific as possible. Like, what would someone search and they'd very likely be to buy? So the next step is you can actually, if you're already selling on Amazon or you're already selling in AdWords or product listing ads, go in and look at the data. Amazon gives you the data under advertising report of what people are searching for and buying your product. So run a report and see what the most popular search terms that lead to actual money being spent is. So once again, make a list here. Then after you make a list, you're gonna go to Google Ads. And if you haven't signed up for Google Ads, at least sign up for a basic account. You don't have to necessarily spend money. The next step is to use the keyword tool. So what you're gonna do is take this list of keywords that you already created, go here, go to Tools, Keyword Planner, and then find more keywords. So just run it through this, see if there's any more keywords that it comes up with. So Whole30 snacks is an idea. Keto nut butter is an idea. I think some of these might be mine actually. Zero carb snacks, ketogenic snacks. There's just a bunch of different ideas here that you could potentially add to your keyword list. The next step after you're done with that is go back to the keyword planner, get the search volume. Figure out of these keywords which one is the most impactful. And this will give you data of how many impressions it gets, how many clicks it would get if you're running it through AdWords. And so we can see here, keto snack is searched pretty often. Now, here's the thing. We have this list of keyword ideas, but we need to see how competitive it is. And so what you're going to do is take, let's say, fat bomb, type it into Google, and see what the top results come up with. See how competitive these websites are. So number one is Delish, fat for weight loss. So these aren't huge websites. There's a chance that I would be able to rank on the first page for these different keywords. So this is the keyword research. This is the list of keywords that I'm gonna go after. The next step is to do on-page SEO for your Shopify site. If you've gotten this far, you're already way ahead of most people. But now let's take those keyword ideas and actually use them to optimize our on-page SEO in Shopify. But first, I need a quick break. Now let's take those keywords and actually optimize our on-page SEO. The first thing we're going to start with is a unique meta title and meta description. So log into Shopify and we're going to start with the product, but this applies to all the different pages. So I'm going to click on my product here. And the first thing I'm going to want to change is the meta title. And this is what shows when you search for performance nut butter on Google. So you're going to click edit website SEO. And you have 70 characters. You can see here I'm only using 58 of the characters, but you want to fill up all 70. So let's refer to our keyword ideas and try to come up with something. I created a meta title based on our keywords: performance nut butter, macadamia coconut fat bomb, keto snack packets. It contains, I think, the most important keywords in my opinion, and it's 69 characters. So this is what it's going to look like to people searching on Google. And that's pretty, not only is that good for the search engine because it has a lot of the keywords that are important, but it's also good for people. And that's a key thing a lot of people forget. You're not trying to write a meta title just for the search engine, Google in this case. You're also trying to write one so that people will click on it, so users will be interested in it. So that's the one I came up with. Now let's come up with a meta description, which is this bottom part right here. And you have up to 320 characters, so we're going to want to try to fill all of that up. For the meta description, I had a lot more room to work with, so I included a lot more keywords. Now, a lot of people say that the meta description does not index in Google, and from what I've heard, that's true, meaning that you don't need to keyword stuff as much, but I figure it can't hurt. Really, in my opinion, the meta description is trying to sell to the user. So you want to put stuff in here that's going to make people want to click on it. You want to treat this as if you're paying $1,000 every time someone clicks on it. So it's like it's a really important advertisement. So don't treat it as just junk. Treat it as this is your sales copy and you're trying to get someone to click on your ad. So that's the meta description. This is the meta title and that is the meta description. So let's move on to the next thing on our checklist: proper link structure. The link structure is basically this up here, and you want it to include your keywords as well. So to fix that link so it includes our keywords, we're going to hit edit website SEO. And I basically take this, copy it, paste it down here, and basically put little dashes. Now, since I had a link before, I'm going to want to do a redirect here once I'm done with this, but just adding little dashes to make it so it looks like a proper link. And now the new link includes all the keywords we're trying to rank for. Next up, we're going to optimize the header tags. And so let me explain what header tags are really quick. Header tags are H1 tags and so on in the HTML. Basically, it lets Google know what a page is about. So in Shopify, your title here is actually an H1 tag. You can see right here, this is the actual HTML code I just pulled up. So you're gonna wanna optimize that and make sure that includes some of your keywords. You can see I tried this in the past. I didn't do a very good job including keywords. Also, so that's an H1 tag. There's also H2 tags, which you can see from this, are basically like subheadings. So this entire page would be about performance nut butter. Then subheadings would be, hey, it's on-demand fuel for peak performance without the crash, so on and so on. And each one of these subheadings should include some of my keywords, but most important is the H1 heading because it lets Google know what the page is about. So we're going to change the title to this, which is basically similar to our meta description, except I added some proper punctuation and cashew in there as well. That takes care of our H1 tag. And as far as all the H2 tags, I'm going to deal with that later. I don't want to spend too much time today because I don't think that's as important as the H1 tag. Next up is the keyword optimized product description. So let me tell you what I mean. And I already pretty much did this, but I can do a better job. So I'm going to do a separate day where I go in and do a better job on the product description. But you see, like every once in a while, actually, I didn't do as good of a job as I thought. It says like macadamia nuts, which is one of the keywords. Coconut's a keyword. Cashew's a keyword. Paleo, vegan, ketogenic, friendly snack. Those are all keywords. So in my product description, I tried to include as many of the keywords as possible. So that is it for that one. I'll spend more time doing this on another day. Next up is image SEO, and there's a few different things you're going to want to do here. So the first thing is the file name. So let's add a new photo here. Let's name it the same thing we've been doing for everything. So performance nut butter, macadamia, coconut, fat bomb, keto snack packets. And this is a little long, but that's okay. Once we do that, we'll upload it into Shopify. And for me, I want this new image to be my main image. And all these different images should have different alt text. This image alt text could be something like best snacks on the keto diet. So it doesn't need to include whatever your brand name is necessarily. It's up to you whether or not you want it to. And ideally too, you'd want to rename each of the images with the same alt text that you use, so Google really knows that you're serious, that these keywords should be ranked for each one of those. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about rich snippets. Rich snippets are basically like added things to your Google listing. So I already have done this for my other company, B Dancewear, and you can see it right here. You know, it has the 5 stars, the rating, all that kind of stuff. Even this $33.99 in stock would be considered a rich snippet. But if you can see, like this one, for instance, doesn't have any rich snippets added. So we want to add that. To do this, there's a few different things we're going to have to do. The first is installing this app, which is free, luckily, and it adds SEO-friendly review scores to your Google search results. And it'll let people leave reviews on your site. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and get that. Install app. And then just follow the instructions here. Once it's installed, you should be able to see it at the bottom. And of course, if you just installed it, you won't have any reviews. So you can get friends to write a review. Obviously, you shouldn't write a review yourself. That's not ethical. But what you could do is go to Amazon and see that anyone that's left reviews for your product and, you know, copy and paste them over. Once again, this might not be something you want to do. You can look it up at your own risk, or you can always contact people that you know that have left reviews for your products, friends, family, etc., and ask them to leave a review on your Shopify page. It's up to you, but that's something that I would recommend doing. I got my first review. Okay, so this is off to a good start. The rich snippets should be showing up in Google in the next few days as Google properly indexes this page. And let's get on to the next item. So that's basically it for how you can do the on-site optimization, on-page optimization. The next step would be to do this for all the supporting pages. So you're going to do this for the About Us page. You're going to do it for the Contact Us page. So you can see here the About Us page isn't exactly optimized. There's not a lot of text on it. So not only am I going to optimize it for SEO, but I'm going to optimize it for humans. So maybe I'll write more here, do a longer bio, a longer about me. Same thing, the Contact Us page and the returns page and the home page. All of these different pages can be optimized for search and also for human user experiences. And that's really the reason we're doing this. We want to optimize it for the human and then Google as well. As I'm going through this checklist, I realize things that I forget and I've been adding it to the checklist. And one important thing that I almost forgot was to add your site to the Google Search Console. This will basically help Google index your site. So it's something you definitely want to do. And I added a link there. So you're going to go here, then click Add a Property. Put in your URL, click add. Let's go to alternate methods, try Google Analytics. Congratulations. All right, so I already had Google Analytics set up, so that's why this worked. I'm gonna go ahead and click continue. And so now that it's in here, there's no data yet. I'll try to put a screenshot of when there is data in the future. Once you've registered for Google Search Console, you're gonna wanna create a sitemap and submit it to them. To do this, you're gonna go to your Google Search Console. You're gonna click that, go down to sitemap, add test sitemap. So it's just your URL and then type down sitemap.xml and submit. And it should work. Let's just refresh the page to make sure everything's good. It looks like it's good, and you can test it by clicking on it. Yeah, you can see here that it looks like it's all formed correctly. All right, one more task, actually. And even though I'm not a big fan of Bing, you might as well sign up for Bing Webmaster Tools and submit your sitemap there as well. I went to Big Bear last weekend for a nature getaway to kind of relax and reset, which was great. But the real reason I went was thinking I would have some insight to help me get to the next level. What I realized is I already have everything I need to get to that next level, to be successful. And ultimately, the only way for me to be successful, to be happy, is to learn to fully be present, to learn to fully be here now.